So I'm going to give you a quick little class on organizing your Dropbox or Google Drive folder setup. So it's interesting because I have been using this process. My husband actually created it back in 2008, 7 and 8, and to organize our files paperlessly. So we went paperless long ago, and we needed to figure out how do we keep our real estate folders in an organized fashion. And so we came up with the Dropbox setup. And this can be done inside Drive as well. I highly recommend it because if you leave your brokerage and all of your docs are inside their broker compliance product, SkySlope, Brokerment, whatever it might be, you may not have access to those files down the road. And let's say you leave today and a year from now, one of your clients says, I need such and such from that file. I need my closing statement. I need this, I need that. Or you did this for me, and you have no way to access it because you're no longer with that old brokerage. You have to have your own compliance folders, and it makes it much easier to distribute them across all of the sites and tech platforms and everywhere you need to do. So I'm going to show you how we do it. And if you would like the PDF, just let me know. All righty, so let me share my screen. We like Dropbox, so we have our Dropbox folder. We created a real estate folder in Dropbox. Once you're inside the real estate folder, and as you can see, it's got people on it. That means it's shared with my team members. Once you come in here and you go ahead and open that up, you will see all the folders. And as you can see, I have copies of all of my documents all the way back to 2012, okay? So you don't have to get rid of them anymore or shred your files after 5 or 7 years or whatever the number is for IRS. You can just keep them inside, in the cloud. I got 2 or 3 terabytes of storage. So if I wanted to go back into 2017 and see my files, I have every closing, every deal that I did right in here. All righty. So when you're in here, you have a master folder. You create the master folder, and the master folder has placeholders. We created this, like I said, back in 2007. And so we had a billing folder because we were doing REOs, BPO or CMA folder, buyer contracts folder, closing statement and fully executed docs, comps and showings, seat disclosures, listing contracts, marketing, photos, property profile, prelim, HOA, reports, short sale docs, and unaccepted offers. By the way, those of you that don't know, you are supposed to keep a copy of all unaccepted offers on deals that do not go through. Your broker's going to want them as well. So by the way, inside closing statement, it also has fully executed, escrow closing package, listing fully executed, and purchase fully executed. We separated those apart so we could put all fully executed documents. Once the final version of everything signed is done, this is our final file. This is the documents that are going to be loaded into your broker compliance within the time frame they require. Now, once you have a master folder and you have a new deal, you're going to just right click. When you right click, you hit copy, come over here and hit paste. Once you paste it, you're going to see there's a copy folder. Once you do that, all you're going to do is you're going to rename it. Hit the rename button, and you're going to say 1234 Main Street, whatever it is, rename it. And as you can see, I have one here. Once I go in there, I now have places to put all of documents. Now, why am I showing you this? Because every single person that you hire as an assistant, a VA, outside of the US, international, inside US, in your office, it doesn't matter. They need access to this file if they are processing your listing and transaction coordinations, okay? They need to be able to see this. A marketing person might need to be able to see this because they want pictures of your photos. They might need some documents, whatever it is. So having them do this is the key. You're building it. You teach them how to do it. They then manage the process, okay? So once you're in there, there is a way to do it. So if I go in and I say, okay, here's 2017, I open up the Holly Springs file. I can go in and I can say, okay, there's my CMA, my market, everything is still here from 2017. All right. If I go into closing statement, I can see all of the disclosures fully executed, state of California, there you have it. There is one thing I want you to realize when you're labeling the documents. Be very clear that it is the abbreviated version of the document's name first, and then the actual address. Now, the reason you want to do it this way and not address first or client's name first or whatever you are figuring out what this says is, the reason you do that is when you're on your phone and opening up your Dropbox or your Google Drive folder and you're out in the field and you need to send a document somewhere because your system's not working that day, guess what? You won't have to hover over it or open every single one up because you're going to know what the document is by the first description. So we learned that the hard way, just so you know. So I want to make sure everybody knows that and how you label them. There are 3 abbreviations that we use. So if we go in here and we look at listing contracts, you can see that there is, I have my MLS, active, pending, sold, sign call up, everything is in there. Estimated seller net sheet is under listing contracts. And when I go into buyer contracts, it's going to be the offers that I get. And I name those offers. I then copy those into unaccepted offers, right? So we go in here and we can see that these are not fully executed. After a while, and this was back in 2017, and as we progressed, we started naming things three definitions. So when you're inside here, you have the fully executed docs, right? That's FE, but you can see SE means seller executed. So only the seller had to sign that document. You might also see a BE, buyer executed. So now we know if we have a document that hasn't been signed, all we have to do is look in here and it's signed. All right. So organizing your Dropbox, Google Drive setup is critical to being able to pass off jobs and tasks to people on your team in a much more organized fashion. Plus, your broker will be happy because it's very easy. You will win that award every year that your broker gives out that you have the best organized files and you're always compliant with your broker. So, hope this helps. See you on the flip side.